The purpose of this video is to look at the basics of market equilibrium as it relates to Achievement Standard 3.1 for NCEA Economics. Now, this video is going to assume that you already understand the basics in terms of the factors that shift demand and supply. The focus here is on how markets move from one equilibrium to another. So, you often hear economists talk about this thing, the invisible hand or market forces, in terms of free markets moving from one equilibrium to another. All they mean is that when something changes in the market, then between consumers and producers acting on their own, in their own interests, for somehow the price and quantity miraculously shift from one place to another without anyone telling them to. So there's no government involved, it's kind of like magic. So for example, suppose there's an increase in supply in the market for internet providers because of increased competition. So obviously there would be an increase in supply. So, okay, that's nice, and we'd expect price to fall and the quantity to increase, but why? What mechanism makes that happen? So basically what we say is, if the price stayed the same at price PE, then because of the new change in supply, suddenly the quantity supply will have increased out to QS. Hopefully you can see that. So at price PE, we've got a new supply curve and the quantity will increase to QS. But demand, in terms of the amount demanded, they'll stay at QE. So there's this surplus, excess supply in terms of what's being provided at that price PE. Now the firms aren't going to like that. They're going to be carrying too much stock and they want to get rid of it. So they start to cut prices. As they reduce their prices, though, that will discourage a bit of production, so they will reduce the quantity supplied. The consumers, on the other hand, will be really happy because the price is coming down, so they'll increase the quantity demanded. That'll keep happening until the equilibrium price is reached. So as long as there's still a surplus, firms will keep dropping their prices. And eventually you get to the point where the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded, which is the equilibrium price and quantity. It's like magic. So here's a job for you. Have a look at this example. Explain as fully as you can how market forces would move the equilibrium in a market if there was an increase in demand. I've done part of the graph for you, so go. How would you explain that? Okay, if you haven't finished already, it was pretty quick. You might want to just pause this video until you are. Here's the possible answers. Oh, not that one. Right, so the increase in demand would mean that if the price stayed at PE, the original price, then the quantity demanded would increase, while the quantity supplied would stay the same. So quantity supplied would stay at QE, but quantity demanded will increase to QD because of the price. That would create a shortage or excess demand. So there'd be more people wanting the good than firms prepared to supply it. So consumers who couldn't get hold of the product due to the shortage would start to offer higher and higher prices, known as bidding up the price. Would that happen in reality? Yeah, it actually does. There have been a number of examples where prices have been set too low and consumers have bid up the price through things like eBay or TradeMe. They bid up the price and people were prepared to sell their goods at those higher prices. So in response, producers will increase the quantity supplied because they're going, yay, higher prices for my product. But consumers will reduce the quantity demanded because the price is going up. That should make sense. Again, that will continue until the quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied at the new equilibrium price. Now, hopefully, as you look at this explanation, you see a bit of a pattern. Very simply, we start off by saying, what will happen if the price doesn't change, if we stick to the original price? So here are the key things when you're trying to explain this change in market equilibrium. One, shift obviously the correct curve, so you need to know your demand and supply shifts well, and label the new price and quantity. Then the next thing is explain. If the price did not change, would there be a surplus or a shortage? You might want to illustrate that on your graph. Then 3, okay, so once you know that, how will producers or consumers respond to that surplus or shortage? 3, as a result of that, which usually involves a price change, either price falling or price increasing, how will the quantity supplied and quantity demand change as a result? The end result is always the new equilibrium price and quantity is set, which is our point of balance between demand and supply. Okay, that's it for now. You might want to check out the next video, which is about consumer and producer surplus and allocative efficiency.